Today, we're looking at a single, incredibly powerful image. It tells a whole story without a single word, just through pixels and contrast. And it has this title that just grabs you, right? The Architecture of Triumph, built from 1 million failures. It sounds like a total paradox, so let's unpack what's really going on here.
So this is where it all starts, with this number right in your face, 1 million failures. I mean, just let that sink in. It sounds so heavy, so final, like it's the end of the line. But what if it isn't? What if this massive number is actually the beginning of a completely different kind of story? And that's really the big question we're exploring here. Because that number, as we're about to see, isn't some monument to defeat. No, it's something else entirely. It's the secret ingredient to understanding what real success looks like. To really get the triumph, you first have to get the failure. We've got to look at the rubble, the raw materials of this whole thing. So let's break down what this foundation is actually made of.
The language used to describe this stuff is so specific, so vivid. These aren't just little oopsies. These parts are broken. They're still smoking, which tells you the destruction was recent. It was intense. They're gray, totally lifeless. All the color and energy just stripped away. And it's not just a few pieces lying around. It's a massive pile, a huge anonymous mountain of everything that went wrong.
And right here is where our perspective has to shift, big time. That huge, smoking, gray pile of junk, well, it's not junk. It's not chaos. It's not an accident. In this story, it's the carefully laid groundwork for what's coming next. It has a purpose. And that purpose is to build something truly great. Now look at this. The contrast is just wow. On one side, you have the crowd of failures, broken, gray, completely anonymous, and on the other, one single figure, pristine, glowing, and totally vibrant. This isn't just a cool visual effect, it's the entire narrative in a nutshell. It's setting up the two forces we're talking about. So let's see how this all resolves. Okay, so we've spent some time in the scrap heap. Let's turn our attention upward now, to the very top of the structure. Let's talk about the one that made it through all of that, the figure standing at the pinnacle. After a million tries, a million broken versions, we're left with just one. Think about that ratio for a second. The sheer weight of it is incredible. It tells you that true, breakthrough success isn't common. It's this rare, singular event that's only born from, well, a whole lot of learning. And just look at how this success is shown. It is a single being. It's glowing with this brilliant cyan light. Totally perfect, untouched by all the ruin it came from. But here's the absolute key. It's standing on the pile. Its triumphant pose, its height, it's all physically held up by those failures. It's not beside them, it's on top of them. And that golden coin it's holding, that's the prize. That's the reward you get for pushing through all million of those attempts. This just nails the central idea so perfectly. You know, we tend to think of success and failure as total opposites, like two different destinations. But this visual makes the argument that they're actually part of the exact same building. Failure is the support system, the scaffolding that makes that shiny, visible success even possible. So now let's bring it all home. We've looked at the foundation of failure. We've seen the pinnacle of success. So what exactly is this architecture of triumph? I mean, think about that word, architecture. It implies a plan, right? Intention, design. You know that an architect can't build a skyscraper without first digging a massive, super strong foundation. That foundation isn't a mistake. It's the most critical part of the whole plan, even if no one ever sees it when the building's done.
And there it is. That's the aha moment. Every single one of those broken, smoking parts wasn't a setback, it was a brick. Every single error was a piece of data that made the next design better. The million failures weren't things you had to get around, they were the very materials you needed to construct that one final, triumphant success.
So when we circle back and look at that title again, it's not a paradox at all anymore, is it? It feels more like a blueprint, a formula even. It's telling us that real, lasting triumph is an act of construction, and the essential material for that construction, well, it's failure.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. A question we can kind of turn on ourselves. When you look at your own journey, your own goals, what are those broken parts? Those gray moments, the smoking ruins you might have left behind? Maybe they're not a scrap heap. Maybe you're just looking at the foundation you're standing on right now.